orgasms that challenged my definition of an orgasm as something with a beginning and an end. And he did it all night long without a gasp, a hesitation, or a slackening of energy. Now, this guy wasn't unusually charming or attractive. While his personality was fine and friendly, it was nothing to write home about, and his anatomy was entirely average. His tongue and mouth alone were responsible for my pleasure fest, and immediately advanced him to the top of my list. So what transformed this mere mortal into an oral Superman? Have you guessed yet? Of all things, Supermouth was trained as a speech therapist. I returned to my speech pathology classes in New York with a newfound enthusiasm. This book is dedicated to sharing the secrets I learned in my years practicing speech therapy. They will help you gain a new mastery over your lips and tongue, enabling you to send shivers up your lover's spine. To make sure you get the most out of these techniques, I've included a handy step-by-step guide to giving your lucky guy the best oral sex of his life. So let's get you started. Before we begin, a note on safety. The techniques set forth in this book are largely intended for the comparatively safe setting of a monogamous long-term relationship. Of course, they can be practiced on anyone at any time, but they are meant to be experienced with someone you trust and know well. Though oral sex has been proven to be less likely to transmit HIV and other STDs than unprotected intercourse, the possibility still exists. Furthermore, if your partner has a bacterial STD, it is possible to contract it in your mouth or throat or anywhere you have mucous membranes, including your nose. Keep in mind that the person performing these activities, doing the licking, sucking, or taking fluids into their mouth, is much more at risk than the person being licked, sucked, and generating the fluids. If you're getting intimate with someone you don't know very well, make sure you protect yourself with a condom or dental dam. There are as many different kinds of protection available today as there are positions in the Kama Sutra, and some of them are designed to add the fun with flavoring and ribs. Before things get hot and heavy, find the products best suited to your needs that will allow you to be safe while exploring and expanding your sexual boundaries. Information on this topic abounds on the internet and can also be found in numerous publications. Please do whatever is safest for you so that you can delve into your sexual experiences with a truly carefree spirit. Introduction. To suck or not to suck? That is the question. Most people suck at performing oral sex, and for no good reason. This guide is based on the premise that oral sex can and should be outrageously fantastic every time. The poor quality of much oral sex being performed today can be baffling at first, but it becomes more understandable when one considers the factors involved. There are a plethora of psychological and social reasons that the tongue tickle hasn't been cultivated as a talent, but more often than not, a simple want of skill and knowledge is to blame. When you engage in oral sex, you're taking the most delicate, vulnerable part of your lover's body, their genitals, and placing them between the most potentially vicious, animalistic part of yours, your teeth. The mouth is made to gnash, process food, and ward off harm. It's a wonderfully human quirk that we also use it to give pleasure. Ironically, this distinctively human trait has been characterized by previous generations as dirty and uncivilized. I don't need to argue here about the importance of great sex to the health of a romantic relationship. We've all seen TV shows and movies that portray sex and passion as uber racy, with bodies writhing in satin sheets under perfectly dimmed lighting, as if little elves had benevolently prepped the room for a perfect orgasm. But if sex and romance are overvalued, oral sex is all too frequently undervalued in the media and culture at large. Still occasionally stigmatized as dirtier than straight-up coitus, the power of oral sex for sustaining and deepening a romantic relationship often gets overlooked. Sharing pleasure, as in intercourse, and giving pleasure have very different effects on a relationship, simply because they have very different effects on your partner. Being able to give pleasure to your partner, unselfishly and lovingly, can be more important and plays a different role in your interpersonal dynamic. Oral sex is special in that it makes the other person